I'm usually not out quite this early. This is a earlier morning than usual. Kind of got up at 4 o'clock, and the weatherman, 2 days ago, the weatherman was saying today was supposed to be nearly 90 and tomorrow was supposed to be 90 and the next day was supposed to be hot. Yesterday they reduced it clear down into the low 80s, and today's supposed to be 77 now, and the next 2 days are actually cooler than today. Well, guess what? I'm really thankful about that because this is the lowest section right here on the entire Arizona Trail. We will not be ever any lower than we will be by this evening. Because basically over there, you can't see it, we won't ever be able to see it, but the Gila River's right there in that brush. It's just a mud hole running. Just a running mud hole. But anyway, it is water. I'll probably be drinking some of it by tonight. Anyhow, that's why I'm out here early, because we thought it was going to be blazing hot today. We basically planned on getting up a lot earlier so that we could beat the heat out here and walk. So I walked for several miles in the dark this morning, and I don't know what time it is now. It's probably right about 5:30 or something, I imagine. Maybe not, 5:45. It's just getting light, obviously. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. So today is, gosh, I hope I can do this. The plan is today, I want to try to walk 17 miles. Now, this is a, kind of a rough, it's rough trail for sure. Just rocky, lots of big rocks, rocks. Because you're right at the edge of a river, And so we'll see how I do at that. Got back to the camper yesterday and got washed up, did some laundry in Kearney, and got clean clothes to wear today. Had Granny, aka Doc, spent about an hour working on my feet last night. Got me all patched back together, ready for another day. That's what we're doing. I'm walking the lowest section of the AZT. I was, with the temperatures they had forecast, like a week ago, they were saying temperatures in the 90s, If you'd have had temperatures like that, guess what? We'd have been seeing rattlesnakes. And you'd have seen me melt. It would have been hot. Get out early, under those conditions. Find some shade somewhere if you can in the afternoon and just hunker down for a few hours, and then get out and go again when it got cool in the evening. Plan is end of the Gila River chunk of this. Now this is passage 16, but the truth is we can't access that end of this passage with the camper. So I have to move on through passage 17, and we can't access anywhere between there. So I got to do both these passages at the same time. So we're going to end up 17 plus about 20 more. About 37 miles this chunk. Yeah, so that's gonna be, a long hike. So we're gonna take that in for me. I can't do that in a day. What I'm gonna do is do this in 3 days. So we'll do this little chunk here along the river first, and then we'll take this next chunk in 2 pieces, 2 10-mile days. We'll see, probably will end up being slightly more than 10 the second day, depends how tired I am after this one, and then slightly less the following day, and we'll see how it goes. It's kind of the thought anyway at this point. Then when I get to Picket Post over there, trailhead, which is the end of the 17th passage, hopefully get in there, you know, early enough to go through the gear and get it all set up and get resupplied and everything like that, and then take a little bit of a rest that night before we tackle the next chunk. And I'm kind of thinking, unfortunately, there's going to be a couple more passages that have to be back to back in there again, because we can't really get access with the camper. Not 100% certain about that. We'll have to do some more looking into that business, find out how it's set up. But we will. That's kind of where we're at. So basically, I gotta go down this river, over the next mountain, down to Picket Post, grab my gear, and then the next chunk after that is the Superstition wilderness area, or mountain. I don't know if it's a wilderness area or not. Probably is. Beautiful country. Been in there before. I think I was telling you about that yesterday. Been in there before. And so all kinds of neat old history about the Superstitions. You know, the lost Dutchman gold mine, and Weaver's Needle, and all kinds of neat stuff going on in there. You know, a lot of this country has neat old mining history into it, you know. A lot of it does. Wait a minute. That thing is way zoomed in. There you go, two species of barrel cactus right next to each other. You can see the one over here on the right, that's the candy barrel cactus. You can tell it because the spines are kind of pink. And then the one over there on the left, it's California barrel cactus, because you can tell it because its spines are not pink. And they're right together, which is kind of cool. There it is, that's the Gila River. Well, I'm a 1/10 of a mile from my end point today. Get some water at the Gila River and then head up there. Head up there to Picket Post, which is still 2 more days away. So Picket Post trailhead. Meanwhile, back at the camper will meet me there. Well, I made it down here to the end. This is the last spot on the Gila River. The river is right there, flowing by pretty, as you can see. This is the last spot on the Gila River you're going to be able to get water. So, kind of looks like that over there. It's a beautiful spot. I've been just sitting here. It's a little bit warm. Not too much warm, but a little bit warm. And see, there's a nice mountain back behind there. Anyhow, so there's the trick. Stay here tonight. I'll get up tomorrow. It's about 9.6 miles to the next water source. It's kind of the plan. It isn't a bad spot to sit, is it? Check it out. Don't you like it? Just been sitting here for about an hour watching the river go by. It's certainly kind of muddy, and you wouldn't actually ever think of drinking water like that. But in Arizona, that's good water. It's cold. It actually filters clear. It's pretty darn nice. I don't know, sun is just about ready to go down over there. You can see it. Still sticking up. Won't be up for long though. Now there's a dead skunk right over there. Everybody told me, yep, you'll know you're at the water source when you smell the skunk. Well, I can smell it right now, which tells me I'm at the water source. And so I'm not gonna worry about a skunk too much. It ain't gonna bother me any. So that's the plan. We'll talk to you in the morning. Good morning. Fresh start right up this hill. Bingo. I think there's about 4,000 feet of ascent and about 2,000 feet of descent. Headed about 9.5 miles away to my water source for the day. Nice and early. Sun is, as you can see, it's just now starting to show on the peaks around about. As usual, I'm breaking my rule about talking while walking uphill. Not a lot of choice this morning. Maybe no choice this morning. Alright, so here you go. There you go. Superior is up there. That's where we're going. It's right there. And we are down here. Ooh, here. Right here is where the water is. Right there. They put up a catchment basically. So it's just basically a structure to catch water. Otherwise, it's a long ways from the Gila River clear to the next water source up here. So hats off to the Arizona Trail Association. And whenever there's any extra water in that catchment, it runs off and feeds wildlife. So that's kind of a cool deal. I'll show you that when we get there in about 5 hours. 5 hours of hiking right up this mountain. Going up is hard enough without having to go down and then back up to what you already went up. I think that's a pretty common feeling for people who are learning to hike out in the wilderness or the woods or whatever. You feel like you just worked your little tail off trying to get enough elevation, and then all of a sudden they send you down the hill. Let me tell you what, I am seeing something really odd right over there. Right in front of you, you can't see it, it's too far away, but there's a vulture circling in a thermal at 6 a.m. over there. I have not ever seen that before. Right up there, quite something. He's actually circling in a thermal. He's not flying, he's soaring. I'll be darned. Better watch where I'm going or I'll wreck. Looks like we're going into a pretty neat little canyon here. I'll turn this around and show you. It looks like that's where we're going right now. So it's gonna be pretty cool, I think. Well, still climbing this mountain. Will be for hours yet. Today we actually get to hit passage 17. I'm not exactly sure where it is up there, but it's right about the same place that I get my water. Kind of there's a big old divide. Big old divide up there. I don't know, it's about 45, 600, 700 feet up there. And I suspect it's going to be right there, but I don't know. I don't know. They say in the hiker's guide that the access to the place between passage 16 and 17 is the worst access of all of the accesses in the whole Arizona Trail. So what that tells you, it's probably way out in the woods. Probably way the heck out in, well, you know, it's kind of like the woods. Look around here, you can see. Only difference is the wood has got spines all over it, right? I'm sure the temperature hasn't risen a bit, but guess what? My temperature has risen a lot already. Let me get up here where we can see it. We'll do a big turnaround. All right. Well, later in the day, I'll end up there, right? Of course, the pretty stuff we're seeing right now is down here with the sunrise, of course. And so yeah, you can see all that back behind me is getting lit up. Pretty darn nice, actually. And of course, if you look down there beyond that Palo Verde bush, down at the very hole, that's the Gila River down there, and that's where we started this morning. And we have a ways to go. That's what I say is woo-hoo, we have a ways to go. Real pretty wash right down there. See if you can see it good right there. Yeah, very nice. Probably can't see it, but the trail runs over there. Someplace over there, perhaps over that hill over there is my next water source. So, I mean, I'm only about 3 miles from there right now. So it's pushing noon. I'm gonna stop and eat lunch for, get my feet up for a while. So, well, I tell you what, this is some rugged country here. Wow. This reminds me so much of the superstitions that Granny, aka Doc, got to go see several years ago on one of my first trips out after getting cancer. So, yeah. Pretty darn cool, huh? Check that out.